On April 1st everyone gets a text on their phone saying April Fools. Sorry about the beginning of the year, let's retrieve that, and we get sent back to January 1st 2020. What's the first thing humanity should do? Fix the calendar and catch the hacker. You're right, I don't want to live the first 3 months of the year again. It was the hacker known as 4chan, depicted as a frog wearing a mask holding a gun. Forced study of pandemics. Forced study of pandemics. A virus is coming, and soon it will spread, but now, if we act, we can change it, he said. He told them the means and the method, and then they simply ignored him, and did it again. Maybe, but it still would probably be too late. China announced they had a problem mid to late December, and by that time, who knows how many left their country with it, or how many items were already contaminated that were imported. People that don't have phones are gonna go crazy. Wait, if they didn't have a phone, would the person also go back, or be stuck in a different timeline? I'm sorry, time travel is confusing. My dog would be pissed she got to pee in the snow again. Break up with my fiancée sooner. At this point she was already cheating on me. I was just blind. /edit. Thanks to everyone to gave me anything. I'm mega drunk trying to drown my sorrows. You guys make it worth it. You will heal. I will be strong. I'm hopper fuel and mega drunk. Don't worry man, you'll find someone so perfect for you and that loves you so much you'll forget about the pain she caused you. Source, I found that person for me. The best bit about it is you no longer are with a cheating partner. Alone and possibly lonely for the time being is better than being with someone who doesn't respect your feelings and relationship. Which begone. I don't know about the rest of humanity, but I'm spending every free second I can with my mom. She died January 28th of a sudden, mild pulmonary embolism. She was only 53 and my dad died 9 years ago. So yeah, that for sure. I think I would also just give her a million hugs. I miss her. Edit. Wow, I deep cleaned my apartment today, then finally picked up my phone and I wasn't expecting so many responses. I guess I finally got to a thread quick enough for Mayo. Thank you to everyone who has offered their condolences, shared their stories, and to those who gave me the awards. I hope everyone's 2020 starts to perk up soon. My brother died January 21st, and I think I'd take time off work to get him into therapy and detox/rehab for his alcohol addiction. It may be buying time, but at least I'd buy time for my parents, because on Monday their house flooded from a broken water heater and old pipes. This year's been chiz for them. He lived at home and killed himself there. If anyone you know is feeling like 2020's not worth it, find a way to spend time with them, even if it's just chatting online about your fat cat. Eater, thank you for your support. I'm doing just fine. I have a lovely husband and a horrid fat brat cat. When chiz started raining, the people who were there and ready were my parents' neighbors. What you can do is support your community right now. Knock on your neighbor's door and ask if they need milk or eggs or whatever, since you're going out anyway. They may be elderly and at high risk, or they may have small children that are driving them bonkers being out of school. Obviously if you're sick, stay home and ask for help if you need it. Right now the little things matter. Most of all, be kind to each other. When the sun's set to set in a sweet seasoned sky, when the stars shimmer down, and the moon's passing by, when the summer wind skips, when it blows in the trees, I remember you're touched by the feel of the breeze. When the clouds disappear, like it was here before, when the white breakers break, and the tide meets the shore, when the rain tumbles down onto still, silver lakes, I'll remember your smile and the ripples it makes. When the stars fade to dawn, when the dawn turns to day, when the summer wind carries the rain clouds away, when the tide travels in, and the sunlight has set, I will miss you forever, and never forget. Produce a lot of disinfectant. Don't forget the toilet paper. Stop that person eating a ref ***** G-bat. Reply back, screw that. Nobody wants to relive that part of history. I'll give them a chance, a way to redemption. They'll be so pleased and relieved. I'm sure they will act soon, but at once in unison, as one they replied, nobody wants to relive that history. Why I thought they'd take the opportunity was a mystery. I'd love to relive, short the chiz out of the stock market, but then again everyone else prob would too. Calls Cobe. Should we tell him to warn his pilot to take another route, or should we tell him to not go at all on that day. Wait, that was 2020. Damn. Contained virus in Wuhan itself. Just an interesting note, I heard on NPR an interview with an Italian doctor that said they were experiencing COVID-19 in November. They just didn't know what it was and thought it was extreme pneumonia. Maybe ban the wet markets so the virus never catches on. Everything's just going to happen again, but with better memes. Wow man. Truth. Who's to say this hasn't already happened numerous times and we are now stuck in this loop? The unfortunate truth is that by posting this thread, OP has finally broken the loop. Open-ended timelines are unstable and ultimately collapse on themselves. Good going Reddit, you just doomed reality. COVID-19, I've come to bargain. Buy all the toilet paper before March. Continue to not purchase soap. Uses a bidet shower and sell stocks. Fire the guy who keeps playing Plague Incorporated on the Area 51 computer. Reddit. Thank you so much you/soy enigma for my first gold. Really appreciated man. Maybe it's one of the idiots that got inside during the raid and was left behind, who found the computer and thinks he is playing Plague Incorporated. Someone should write an SCP based on this r/SCP. Starts shorting stocks. Everyone got the text, not just you genius. Dow hits 100,000 with everyone knowing what goes up, continuing the pointless circle jerk of imaginary value. Quickly get Wuhan, China quarantined. Close all airports in China. Start making virus test kits for everyone that was supposed to leave. Wait a few weeks to see if the people quarantined develop anything. Get hospitals in Wuhan, China as soon as possible. Basically try to keep the virus from spreading. For January 1st, we should be pushing test kits in Italy, Iran, Spain, Washington State, and New York at a minimum. Testing anyone passing through Hubei and doing aggressive contact tracing. Start making virus test kits for everyone that was supposed to leave. Let's be honest, no one would take it seriously and there would be no funding for it. Throw every scientist at the obvious case of both the possibility of rewinding time itself and the fact that there's most likely a higher being, clearly also not acting for the good of our species. Like anyone would give a duck about COVID-19 at this point. We literally just got a confirmation that a god exists and that we are most likely a plaything. We're in a simulation. Pope Francis has already asked God to stop the pandemic. If he can't reason with him, I don't know who can. Tell Kobe not to get in the helicopter. Think he would listen to some rando on the internet telling him to inconvenience himself? Or how would you convince him he was going to die without him sending you to police for death threats? Kobe would have not listened to us, but I came up with a plan to save him. We need two things: kite jelly and a very high power laser. We wait for the helicopter to take off, then blast him with the laser, making him land. We do this over and over again until he is forced to cancel the flight. We use as many high power lasers and people as it takes to stop that helicopter. Oh, why the kai jelly? Cause we would go to jail. We would be there for a good little bit. Still a price we are willing to pay. Giant orgy. How many giants do you know? Everyone back in the pile. Buy stock in a toilet paper company. That's genius, because once everyone knows what's going on they will stockpile toilet paper because people are idiots and will think they are genius for buying out the entire store before the shortage without knowing they are causing it. I may steal your idea. A. The demand just time shifted. People didn't grow a second butthole. Send the rains down to Australia. Yeah, almost immediately after the bushfires we got extreme flooding. We can't cop a break this year. Fires, floods, plagues. This feels like some biblical chiz at this point. I bless the rains down in Australia. Become more self-sufficient. If all the masks are produced in the virus-infected nation, what are ya gonna do? Gotta make your own. Also take profit off all healthcare services. This should happen after the pandemic ends. We need to start production again in Western countries and stop relying on China that much. I don't know about humanity, but I would force my brother-in-law to go to the doctor and start taking blood thinners so that he would still be alive rather than dying from a blood clot. This was the most uncomfortable upvote I've given, but it's what I can do to show support. I hope it goes the very best it may, and that everything considered you, your sibling and you brother-in-law are doing the best you can. It's simple. We kill the bat. If you're good at something, never do it for free. But the due date the bat way before 2020. Start mandatory washing hands. You know how fancy places have bathroom attendants? Now every bathroom has a bathroom attendant, and they're carrying. Came here for this. Disappointed it wasn't top comment. Well, we could probably contain COVID-19. China would lock down Wuhan immediately, other countries would ban incoming flights from China, and I doubt the virus would escape. We'd have to keep an eye on com as well, but I think we would succeed. It was already out of China by January 1st. Taiwan started inspecting Wuhan just before the end of December, and was the first countries to ban flights from Wuhan by the end of January. If every country acted as fast as Taiwan did, then it probably wouldn't have gotten this bad. Taiwan got ducked over during the SARS epidemic, so this time, they gave duck all from what China and who was reporting, and their suggestions instead sent their own team of medical experts to Wuhan and ease the situation. They are also not allowed to attend WHO due to China throwing a hissy. The pandemic started in 2019, so we should ducking close the borders at least. Also buy toilet paper. No, don't go stocking up on toilet paper. That's how it all disappears. Immediately implement a buying limit. You fools. At January 1st the pandemic was a few months in at China, so it would have been too late. Even with the reset, it was an epidemic then. We could keep it from being a pandemic. Let's be honest, in this retreat scenario, Trump would probably nuke the whole province, and a stupidly high percentage of the world would be okay with it. Dump all my stock. See my dad, before he passed away. I'm sorry for your loss. May he rest in peace. Condolences. The Archers, here we go again meme will be everywhere. Divest in all the oil companies so that the UAE can't short the stocks for profit when they tank the market. Quarantine China because the corona was there in December. It's been reported that Italy had it in November but didn't know it at the time. November actually. Elect Bernie Sanders. I think the thing to be considered is if the people who have died within these 4 months can come back. All the nations in a group chat w/China, don't duck up this time. Since time travel is so complex, I think actually the best path would be to make it as similar as possible to the first time around, but change what we will in order to survive better. We could however save a few people or something like that. Going into the stock market should be just as unpredictable because people are doing it again, so that's not a good idea. We could start education on what to do and not do during a pandemic. Orders, but the virus will probably pop up sometime in 2020 either way. We could get more people hired to hospitals and expand the amount of people that can be on life support since we have time to prepare. Shut down Chinese wet markets. Chiz'd be happy enough if we could just get that done now. Duck the time travel. Slim chance of either though. Burn them down. Wash their hands. Rebuild the US's pandemic response team that Dr. Trump disbanded because it was a waste of money. Have the Senate run a real trial and replace Trump with somebody who won't downplay the risks. Pence would replace Trump. You know, the guy who Trump put in charge of our response. Convict the president. Have a month-long world lockdown and a shutdown of the market that caused COVID-19 plus negotiations between USA and Iran. Make wet markets illegal. It would be too late to stop COVID-19. It was already in humans in November. This would be a good thing to do now to prevent this from happening again. The first we should do is tell people to stop eating ducking bats. I feel like this is the best starting point. Stop eating meat. Wash their hands. I think we should use knowledge about that virus and have more time to create vaccine before it gets serious. Creating a vaccine is still going to take 1 to 2 years from now. Impeach Trump while we had the chance. Do we get to keep our memories, or is this just going to be a 4-month Groundhog Day situation? In Groundhog Day he kept his memory. Wash their hands. Buy a bunch of that sweet readily available toilet paper, bleach and chicken breast. Save Kobe, save the world. Save Kobe. Apparently Hodges just in case my fellow humans turn out to be rampaging idiots for some other reason. Sell stocks. Close the Chinese border completely. Ask everyone to start social distancing and just keep going how we are right now. Go to China. Find the person who ate a bat and tell him just don't. Impeach Trump. Remove Trump from office. Sorry for the political answer, but seriously, he has done nothing against coronavirus and is making things worse. Not do daylight savings. Not eat bad soup. Hoard toilet paper, hand sanitizer and surgical masks. Then I would sell all those things for half off on eBay. Everything gets purchased by the same guy and it's back up at a higher price before you even ship it. They give you the runaround on the address and then start requesting deliveries to many different addresses. Travel bans on China. Find the guy who ate the bat. That was pre-2020. Wash our ducking hands. I ain't doing my exams again. Be rootin', be tootin', but by God be shootin', but most importantly be kind. Launch a nomination against China's leadership and give the power to the doctors to do as they need to bring the mystery illness under control without censorship. Buy spy puts. Eat a bat. Hack the system. I ain't waiting another 3 months for New Horizons. Reconsider Joe Biden's mental capacity for running a ducking country. Bernie 2020. Not eat a bat. That Iranian general ain't setting foot in Iraq, that's for sure. Overthrow the elite. Oh my, you watched until the end? That's ducking awesome dude. Thanks for watching.